Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Kirsty and this is Stuck in the Mud. I really hope my videos are helping you on your OCD and anxiety healing journey. If they are, it'd be great if you can like the videos, and if you're not already, why not subscribe? It's free and we can build a bigger OCD help community together, because ultimately the more people that like and subscribe to the videos, the bigger the channel gets and the more people it can help, which is what I have dreamed of doing since I started this channel. So in today's video, I wanted to talk today about the feeling of dread and the impending doom that comes along with OCD. You know, along my 40-year journey with OCD, this has played a big part in it, I would say, and it's ever present there. And I would like to talk a little bit more about it and explain what I mean, because I'd be very interested to hear about your experiences with this, because I really think it's been with me ever since I've been a little girl. So when we have OCD, we often look into the future. That's where we are. We're not living in the present. We're living right there, way in the future, imagining the worst case scenarios. And with myself, I've often felt a sense of impending doom, like, what if something bad is going to happen? And this has followed me right from childhood into adulthood. And it's like I can't be gloriously happy. I can't just let myself be free and experience the joys of life day to day. You know, looking forward to something has always been a big thing for me, because I've always felt growing up that if I was looking forward to something and really excited about something, then something bad would happen after that. Or, you know, because I'm looking forward to something, it's like I'm going to get punished and something bad is going to happen. And I say that word punished, and that often goes alongside scrupulosity at OCD, where there are, you know, fears of religion, you know, fears over religion, and also spirituality, and, you know, the way we feel there's a higher power. And I don't know why I've carried that with me, but it's always been there, and I felt like I'm going to get punished almost. Like, if I'm feeling really happy and joyous about something, then something bad's got to follow that. And I don't know if that's just from growing up and the experience I've had, because let's face it, we all have good and bad things happen to us in our lives. It's very rare that someone's going to go through, you know, their whole life without, you know, experiencing, you know, the opposite sides of the coin. You know, we all have those up and down times in life, and we can go through some pretty hard times, you know, really, you know, we go through loss and grief and, you know, lots of different things in life. And you know, you're not likely to get through life without experiencing all those things. You know, you take the rough and the smooth, and I don't know whether it's just the OCD thing where we just so to the extreme with things that, you know, when we're feeling so happy and excited, that we then feel the need to go to the other side, the flip side, and think, well, what if the worst could happen? And, you know, because I'm feeling so happy, that means something bad might happen. You know, we often go to those extremes. So at one end, we're feeling super happy and excited. At the other end, it's the worst case scenario. You know, it doesn't seem to be a lot of middle ground. You know, we can't be present and enjoy as is, and, you know, not think about the future and the potential things that could go wrong, or, you know, if something bad might happen. You know, most people don't think like that. You know, they live kind of moment to moment. And I think a lot of people with OCD, like myself, you know, we're very sensitive and aware to all the different things in life, you know, all the things we see in the media. You know, we're absorbing this all the time. And I think we're so, like I said, sensitive to good and bad things, you know, and we know about all of these things because we're very, very hypersensitive to it. So although we might be feeling completely joyous and excited in one moment, we're also aware that things aren't always that way. And I think we just go to the extreme of thinking, well, if I'm feeling like this now, I could easily be just feeling the other way down the line. You know, we're always kind of one end of the spectrum, whereas the way I am trying to live my life now, and this is where we all want to be, is just living in the moment, in the present moment, and just taking life day by day, moment to moment. You know, it is really all about that with life, and we can't live our lives, you know, right there in the future, as we can't live our lives in the past. And it's quite a difficult thing when you've spent your whole life, you know, doing both. You know, you're always like looking in the past and looking way in the future. It's very difficult actually to bring it back to the present moment. But the more I've practiced just letting those thoughts be there, as in metacognitive therapy, you know, it's really helped me come a long way. And, you know, and I'm not saying I'm 100% recovered. You know, I do still say I have OCD, but OCD doesn't have me. I love that phrase because, you know, I think I'm always going to be that sensitive person. You know, we're not trying to change who we are. Being sensitive is a really good thing, but we also tend to get ourselves wrapped up in things, and because we're very sensitive, empathetic people, and, you know, when we're aware of all the suffering in the world and the way things can go wrong, you know, we got ourselves all caught up in all of that. And while that's a good thing, we can often then, we can just go down that rabbit hole of trying to pull everything apart, and we're off in our heads. You know, we spend a lot of time in our heads just trying to, you know, just go over things and try and work everything out, and, you know, look at probabilities. You know, could this happen? Could that happen? And the worst case scenarios. But I don't have to do that, because like I've said in many videos, you know, we can't, it's not our fault that we have OCD, you know, it really isn't. And we can't control the thoughts that come into our head. And I hate it when people say that you can control your thoughts. You can't control the thoughts that come in your head. They're just automatic thoughts that come out of nowhere. You know, we don't ask what thoughts we want to experience. They just happen to us. But we can do something about the thinking, and it's not easy. Not if you have OCD, it is not easy. And I sympathise with anyone going through this, because I know how hard it is, and I felt challenged my whole life with this. But I do feel like I'm at a place now where, yes, I have OCD, but it doesn't control my life. You know, I'm very aware of having, you know, intrusive thoughts, and myself getting too far ahead into the future, trying to work everything out and figure out if things likely could happen, or, you know, maybe not. You know, I'm aware of when I'm doing that, and I think I'm aware of it much earlier on now, and that is all from the help of metacognitive therapy, because once I had that awareness, I could easily do something about it. I could, you know, stop it in its tracks. And when I say stop, I'm not trying to push it out of the way. I'm just letting it be. And the more I did that consistently and with much practice over, it's not even a quick fix, this, guys. It really isn't. It's over some years now. I've really had to practice this, is just letting the thoughts be there and not pushing them away, just letting them coexist with me. Because the more I did that, the more I noticed that they would just drift away on their own. So I don't get so worked up now if I get an intrusive thought. You know, I can just let it be there. You know, I know it's an intrusive thought. I have OCD, it's an intrusive thought. I don't enjoy those thoughts being there. But I'm aware now that I can just let it be. I don't have to involve myself in it, and it will go away on its own. Now, I will say though, at first, when you do this kind of therapy, you will notice a spike in anxiety and those uncomfortable emotions like the guilt and shame, because we're so used to feeling those things, and it's going to feel uncomfortable not to involve yourself in it. This kind of follows on from the last video I did where I talked about the backdoor spike. And when you're feeling better, you know, you start to notice that I'm not feeling so anxious anymore. But, you know, when we're trying to do the therapies, you may feel a little bit more of that, because we're not so used to just letting thoughts hang out there. And that's going to feel quite difficult, you know, in the beginning stages. But over time, believe me, it gets so much easier, and you'll notice those uncomfortable, sitting with that discomfort, it will just fade on its own. You won't even probably feel a heightened anxiety or anything like that. It will just fade away. And that's probably one of the last things, it goes. And then, like I say, I'm just left with the thoughts that just pop in. I'm like, just another intrusive thought, and just let it do its thing. But if I involve myself with it, it gets bigger, as do all the uncomfortable emotions. They just, OCD, the more we kind of involve ourselves and pick it apart, try and work it out, the whole thing just gets much bigger. And it kind of spider webs off into all different kinds of thoughts. And, it just gets ginormous. And that's not where we want to be. So yeah, with OCD, we tend to have that sense of impending doom and feeling like, well, it's like the pleasure pain, I'm feeling so happy about life right now. I'm probably doing really well with my therapy and just things are great, and I'm looking forward to going away next month. I'm going on holiday and I'm taking a vacation. I'm really happy. But then the flip side is, what if something really bad happens? What if, I don't know, go to the extreme as in OCD. What if I'm in a plane accident, I never actually get to the destination. And this is where OCD takes us, or something bad might happen. I might not actually be able to go on holiday. Maybe some major catastrophe will happen. And because I'm feeling so excited about it, I don't want any of those things to happen. And we just get so caught up in it, and the thoughts just get more intense. Like I say, the emotions and the anxiety will get more intense. The more we catch ourselves up in OCD, the more it hooks us in, the bigger it gets. And that's not where we want to be. We want to be present, and we want to be enjoying the moment and not thinking about potential future scenarios. And it's definitely difficult, and it's something I've had to come to terms with myself and my OCD journey, because like I said, it's always been there, that, and it's taken quite a lot of my life. It takes a lot of enjoyment from our lives, and none of us deserve to be living our lives like that. And it's taken a large portion of mine where I've not actually really just unequivocally, really enjoyed something, because there's always that little bit of me, that doubting disorder that thinks, well, you're really happy about this, there's something bad might happen, or you may get punished. And I do really want to do another video about that with the scrupulosity, because that has played a big part for me in OCD, and I'm kind of touching on it here. I think when we're feeling happy about something, and maybe we're doing well in our therapy and we're feeling good, we can often feel guilty. And I mentioned a bit of this in the last video where I was talking about the backdoor spike, and we feel guilty for feeling happy because we're not used to being that way. And that's just OCD trying to hook us in again, just trying to say, well, should you really be feeling this happy? Because if you're feeling happy, then maybe something bad could happen. It's just OCD trying to trick us again into hooking back into that thought. And just to be aware of that, because we should be feeling happy, we should be feeling joyous about life, and looking forward to things. And it's something I've really often struggled with, that looking forward to things, because of the fear of what if something bad could happen. That phrase in itself is just OCD. It's probably one of the biggest phrases to kind of make us think that this is, you're experiencing OCD by saying, what if, what if this could happen? What if, I don't know, something terrible could happen down the line? We're always using that phrase. It's just a classic OCD phrase. So it's just bringing it back to not getting involved with those thoughts, letting them be there, trying to stay as present as possible. And that will become more naturally the more we practice this, the more we become aware of our thoughts, and the more we resist those compulsions and rituals. We resist, and that includes rumination. So we're resisting the rumination, we're letting the thoughts hang out there, but not getting hooked in, and not trying to pick them apart, try and work them out, try and just figure everything out. It's just leaning towards that uncertainty and being okay with that, just letting it be there. The feeling of uncertainty is kind of one of the biggest hurdles with OCD, because it's never comfortable, because I don't think anyone likes uncertainty, but people with OCD, you know, we really struggle with it. So even those feelings of uncertainty, any feeling, you know, you may feel it in your body, we've got to do the same with those, the same as the thoughts, just let them be there, those icky feelings we get, because it's not nice feeling like that, you know, those uncomfortable sensations. We feel it in our body where, you know, you might feel it at the back of your throat, like you feel like you might be, you know, you feel sick almost, because it's that discomfort we feel when we're sitting with these things that we just want gone. But that is the worst thing we can do, is try and force them out. Just sit with it, sit with the uncomfortable thoughts, you know, all the uncomfortable emotions and the physical sensations we feel as well. It takes some practice, but it's definitely worth it, because, you know, OCD doesn't have to run our lives like it does, and we deserve to be happy and joyous and live in the moment. So I hope this video has really helped you today, and it's given some food for thought. Let me know your experiences with this as well, because I'd be interested to hear how this has affected your lives as well. You know, always fearing, you know, if something bad could happen, you know, that feeling of impending doom. How have you coped with that throughout your life? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. See you in the next video.